And welcome in to Postgame Live on Channel BSR. The Orioles picked up a 9-2 win in Pittsburgh. And it seems like we haven't done too many happy recaps, but I'm glad we're doing a happy recap tonight. Josh Soroka from Section 336 is joining me. I'm Zach Wilt. What's up, Josh?
Hey, that was a fun game. I'm gonna have a little trouble finding some stuff to really nitpick about. It was just a fun game, and it was that type of full baseball game that we've been expecting from the Orioles.
It's so nice. It's so nice. Yeah, and I guess face a team like Pittsburgh, a playoff team last year, but a struggling offense. Everything sort of started getting going. Saw the bats get going. Saw a good start from Miguel Gonzalez. Just not a whole lot. We've got to do our highlights and lowlights, and low light for me was pretty tough to come up with. I don't know about you.
Yeah, yeah. The low light for me is just more of a general low light, but yes, it was a little tough.
So let's get into that. We'll get into the box score first. So looking at the box score, Orioles picked up a 9-2 win on 12 hits. Pirates had 10 hits, but only 2 runs. Miguel Gonzalez picking up the win, his second of the year. His ERA is, I guess, down to 4.53. Solid start from Miguel. We'll get into that a little bit later. And the loss is handed to Francisco Liriano, who got knocked around over 5 innings. 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, only 2 walks and 4 Ks. But through 99 pitches in those 5 innings, he got knocked out of this one quick, Josh.
Yeah, yep. I mean, but I don't know. I think Gonzalez, though, he pitched a great game, and I thought it was good to see him bounce back after being skipped his start last time. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of felt like maybe Buck was losing confidence in him bringing up Gaussman for that, but he showed that he deserves to stay in that rotation.
Our key contributors and looking at the box score, Chris Davis is the player of the game. I was putting together the GIFs on BaltimoreSportsReport.com of his 2 home runs when he hit his third, so I haven't had a chance to make the third one yet, obviously, with the show going on. But a 4-for-5 night, 3 home runs, 5 RBI, and man, it is good to see him get going.
Well, yeah, tonight he had as many home runs as the rest of the year. He just doubled his home run count. And I hope that means that stroke's there, because the way he's swinging, it looks like last year's Chris Davis, where you don't know it's a home run ball from the stroke.
Right.
You know once it launches.
It looks easy. Yeah, it looks easy.
Yeah.
He looked like he was trying hard, and the bat speed was a little bit slow, prior to this game. And I'm wondering if, him actually running into these balls makes it look like, because the guy swings really hard. And I don't think we noticed when he's running into these balls and they're just flying off the bat. But, yeah, it's really fantastic to see Davis get going. And I posted a video this morning, if you're following on Twitter, posted a video about how much the Orioles are missing Matt Wieters' offense. And Wieters, prior to this game, had 2 more home runs than Davis had in
Right.
4 less games. Well, not the case anymore. So I was glad I got that video up on time to be totally out of date at this point. So.
Right. Yeah, today there's no missing Matt Wieters. It was perfectly fine.
Not today. So let's get into highlights and lowlights. A highlight for me, Chris Davis, obviously, he's the player of the game. It's so nice to see that back get going. Interesting note that he actually didn't have a 3 home run game last year. He had 53 home runs, but his last 3 game was in August of 2012. So, he's got to be the highlight, and could be huge for this offense moving forward.
Yeah. It's very hard to pick a highlight, one specific thing besides the way Chris Davis played tonight. But for me, it's just that full team. That pitching was good. The offense with Davis and everyone got a hit except for Caleb Joseph and pitchers, but I'm not counting that.
And Joseph had a bases-loaded walk actually to give him a lead, so not a bad game from him either.
No, and when you're playing National League ball, that was very important walk early in the game.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know the offense was going to blow up at that point.
Yeah.
Offensive, it was a great game, which we expected all year from this lineup, and defense was stellar. Manny made some great plays, like the old Manny.
No question.
So my highlight is that this is the Orioles that we've been waiting for. Kind of.
Goodness. Yeah, you mentioned getting a complete game. I feel like so often, this team, I expect to have the sort of offensive production that they had last year. I don't think Davis needs to hit 3 home runs every game, but you expect that power to be there with, some of the guys in the lineup. I mean, J.J. Hardy's power hasn't quite turned on. You know what Adam Jones is going to do. You know what Nelson Cruz is going to do, and you know what Davis is capable of. So to see the Orioles rank so far down in the bottom and the home run total, that was a little bit discouraging, but it was nice to see that offense finally show up today, mixed with a good start, some decent innings from the bullpen. We'll talk about Tommy Hunter a little bit later, but some decent innings from the bullpen. Like you said, Josh, just getting all aspects of that working in a nice victory tonight in Pittsburgh.
And excellent base running as Matson's replaying Machado's slide into home.
That was beautiful. Beautiful. Yep. Yeah, fantastic. And something you thought was going to be real big early on in this game when it looked like, the bats took an inning or so to get going. You were thinking very, very big play.
Yep.
So, all right, we have to have a low light. That's the way this
right
goes. So I'll start with you. What's your low light?
My low light is National League ball. I went to the Nats game yesterday, and I saw it happen to the Nats, and then it happened to the Orioles here. Bases loaded, and Gonzalez gets up with 2 outs. He is not going to hit the ball. It happened to Strasburg yesterday where he couldn't hit the ball. It kills any momentum. The Orioles had a good momentum going. Bases loaded. Caleb Joseph gets that walk.
Yeah.
And then you've got Gonzalez at the plate. So that's my downside.
No, that's a good one. He did in that at-bat that you mentioned. I'm trying to remember the inning. I think I've got it in the notes. But that at-bat.
Was it the fourth or fifth? Or it might have been a little earlier.
It was looking top of the fourth. Yeah, top of the fourth. So he struck out with the bases loaded.
Oh, he hit that foul ball.
Foul ball down the line. I thought, man, this is gonna clear the bases.
Yeah, that foul ball looked like a double.
I was pulling for it. My low light, I guess, and I know Jab's in the chat room, so sorry, Jab, but Tommy Hunter coming in the 7th inning, giving up 2 quick singles. I know it's singles. I know he threw only 12 pitches, 1 inning. Nobody scored, but it's just a little bit. I'm still a little on edge with Tommy when he comes in and gives up those 2 quick. I think it was 2 pitches too.
Yeah, it was the first 2 batters, and no pressure.
Yep. No pressure at all. So that worries me. I thought, hey, it'd be good to see Buck getting Tommy in the 7th with a nice big lead. But I'm still a little bit uneasy about moving. I would love to see him get back in the 9th. I mean, you just can't do it right now, and he's kind of continued to prove that, despite no real damage, but 2 hits.
But I was disappointed that Delman Young went in to pinch hit for Tommy Hunter. I wanted to see that big guy at the plate when we had a big lead.
Well, and Jim Palmer kept talking about pitchers that could hit, and he mentioned Tommy Hunter. I'm like, man, that would be fun to see Tommy Hunter.
Even pitchers that can't hit are fun to watch hit when you've got a huge lead and not worried about it.
That's definitely true. We'll break this one down offensively, defensively, and pitching. Start with the offense. It's nice, 9-run lead. This is the most runs the Orioles have scored since their 11-4 win over the Blue Jays on April 24th. We mentioned the Caleb Joseph bases loaded walk, and that was my first offensive note that I wanted to hit on. That gave the Orioles a 2-1 lead in the top of the 4th. Very, very big, very patient at bat for a guy with not a ton of major league experience. I was really impressed. Happy to see him. That's his first RBI coming on the bases loaded walk.
And that went from at least 2-2 to walk. Right. He got behind on that and fought it out.
Yeah, that was very impressive. And somebody in the chat room says we need to get Zach Britton an at-bat before the season ends. I want to see a sinker baller pitch to Zach Britton because I think that'd be fun. That's what he deserves to see as a guy who's going to do some ground ball outs. And then the next at bat, like you mentioned, Miguel Gonzalez striking out with the bases loaded. That foul ball down the line, man. Right. I was hoping and praying.
But it's stupid National League ball. It ruins momentums.
How long did you stay at the Nats game last night, by the way? Because you mentioned you didn't stay.
No, I left in the 7th inning because I had no care. The only reason I went is because it was that Lexus President Club seats, like right behind home plate.
Nice.
So it was like row 4 or 5, and to see Strasburg, that I went for that, and seventh inning, I had enough and was headed home.
Smart, because I think it lasted like 4 hours after you left.
Right,
So.
and those fans are the most frustrating fans in baseball too.
um, Back to Orioles offense. 3 of the Orioles' first 6 hits were infield hits. They didn't even leave the infield. And then the offense exploded. So nice to see, like I mentioned, they started a little bit slow. I was thinking, great, here we go again, station
Right.
to station. And then we saw the home run power that we know they're capable of. But 3 of the first 6 were in the infield. A good note by Gary Thorne in the broadcaster.
Yeah, and it was nice, like, to see Adam Jones has really stepped up in the past week or so. That maybe past 2 weeks, where he's still the most frustrating person to watch at the plate with that low and outside pitch, but he's starting to hit the ball pretty well.
It's so hard for me to complain about Adam Jones, even with that. I'll take the good with the bad. And I don't know if you had a chance to see Steve Molesky's column. I know a lot of people, Gary even brought it up in the broadcast. A lot of people were tweeting about it, and it's just something I totally agree with. It does get frustrating, especially when it gets predictable, but the guy does so much that I find it so hard to be overly critical of him. So I wanted to hit on again. We briefly touched on it to give the Orioles a 3-1 lead in the 5th. Jones doubling to deep left field, and Manny Machado, who I still cringe a little bit when Manny's running hard and running really hard around the bases with a fantastic slide. Those new catcher collision rules, he's got to leave him the lane, but he still had to kind of jump on the outside, reach out, get the hand on the plate. Just fantastic base running.
I think, if anything, today's game, watching Manny, both with some dives and that slide and the way around the bases, he's back to 100% as far as that knee. I don't think we have anything to worry about right now. We can kind of relax.
Well, good.
Right.
I hope you're right. Yeah, I did feel comfortable. I mean, that was a nice long run, good hard slide, everything. And, and defensively, I think you're absolutely right on.
And he even got a hit.
He did. He did add a little bit of offense here. So after that play in the 5th, Chris Davis goes yard, drives in Adam Jones. Nelson Cruz follows with one. I love seeing these guys hit back-to-back when it's working like that.
That we're going to see that a bunch this year. That's not the first time. We're going to see it a bunch. That lineup.
It is fun, man. It is a whole lot of fun. And then so Davis hit another one in the 7th, and then Ike Davis hit another hit one in the 7th. And then Davis added his 3rd 2-run shot, scoring Adam Jones again. Adam Jones on base again, 2-run shot there in the 9th. So that's what I got for offensive highlights. By the way, Davis's 7th career multi-home run game with 3 this evening. And I mentioned earlier, he did not have a 3-home run, which sort of makes last year incredible. Did not have a 3-home run game last year. His last 3-home run game was back in August of 2012. So that's pretty remarkable that he was able to hit 53 without hitting 3 in one game.
That's hard to believe.
Defensively, a couple plays stick out to me, Josh. I don't know what sticks out to you, but Caleb Joseph really helping Miguel Gonzalez. And Miguel Gonzalez kind of got in the zone as he went along, but early on in this game, Caleb Joseph saved a run on a real bad Gonzo pitch in the dirt with a runner at 3rd and 2 outs in the bottom of the 1st. Easily could have been a wild pitch that scored a run, and he made a fantastic play and blocked a lot of balls, I thought, to hold some base runners on.
Yeah, no, I agree. Caleb Joseph is turning out to be an okay backup. He's not what we would ideally want as a backup, but he's better than what we've had in previous years, and I think that he can only get better.
And I'm really pulling for the guy. I really like his story. I'm really pulling for the guy, so I'm rooting for him. Excited to see the bases loaded walk, the first RBI, some good defensive play. We've seen him throw some guys out on the bases, so I'm rooting for him.
Just got to work on that bat.
Yep, no doubt. He owns just about every batting record in Bowie, so hopefully that'll translate to something in the big leagues.
But that's more of a time though record for the amount of time he spent in Bowie.
True. Yeah, it was quite a bit of time. Manny Machado, you mentioned it, nasty double play in the bottom of the 5th, diving to his left. Had the jersey all dirty. Guns is 2nd, gets the runner at 1st. I was gonna say vintage Manny, but Manny hasn't been around long enough to use the word vintage. But that's sort of what we've become used to here in watching Manny Machado the past couple seasons.
Right. It was the ho hum plays last year that happened every single night, and now they're new again, and it's awesome.
Oh, it's glorious. It's so nice to see. Pitching, Miguel Gonzalez getting the quality start, reaches his line, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks. That's the first start this season for Miguel Gonzalez where he has issued no free passes, and 7 strikeouts. Did allow the home run to Ike Davis. So he went out in the 7th, allowed the home run, and they got him out. But 6 strong innings, quality start. And my big thing is, Josh, you give this offense quality starts, I think they're going to win most of the games.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the surprise with our starting pitching for the whole season is doing really well.
Really?
And there's been a lot of quality starts. Sure, they had their rough outings and stuff, but we had a lot of rough outings last year. And now we're really pitching well, and I hope we can sustain that for the year.
I love seeing the Orioles starters be efficient with their pitches. 95 pitches through 6 innings. It's not super efficient, but it's good enough to give me that quality start. That's right. That I look for.
Well, so he had the one rough inning with 29 pitches, I think, in the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
But then he really shut it back down.
Yeah, no question. So good start from him, and then you get into the bullpen. So you've got typical Tommy. Are you worried about Tommy Hunter? Are we going to continue to see him in sort of mop-up roles, kind of big leads or blown out roles, you think?
I don't know. I'm worried about Tommy because I feel like maybe he lost a little confidence. Something's going on right there that he is giving up single. He's giving up the little hits. And the problem with Tommy is those little hits, eventually someone gets a hold of that ball. And I'm worried that he can't. I'm worried because I know Buck, and I know Buck wants him back in that 9th hole. Buck wants him to be the closer again. And I didn't see today a guy who can go back and close.
Yeah, not yet. Very interestingly, Zach Britton coming in relief of Tommy Hunter and going an inning and a third, allowing a hit and a walk, no earned runs. And I kind of thought we'd see Britton close it out, and Buck went to Darren O'Day to get the last 2 outs of the inning, who went 2/3 and had a strikeout, no earned runs, no hits. So, it sort of looks like as much as we've talked about closer by committee and as much as I've thought that's something that just bloggers and podcasters and people like us, Josh, talk about, maybe that's sort of what we're seeing. I know it's a 7-run game, but maybe that's going to be the philosophy going forward.
I love the idea of closer by committee, but I don't think we're seeing it. I think what we're seeing is our starting pitching is pitching excellent. So we got to get the bullpen guys in and let them get a little work in as well. So that's what he's working out.
Yeah, I guess the true test will be the next save situation. If you see Britton go back out there, then I guess Britton's going to be the guy for the time being. I don't know. I'm with you though. There are guys in situations that work better than other guys. So I would like to see that game plan be used. I guess my bottom line takeaway here, Josh, and I don't know what yours is. I might be stealing yours, but just it's so nice to see all aspects of this team working. Even our biggest complaint is 2 singles let up by a relief pitcher in the 7th inning. So it's really nice to see the offense work, some stellar defensive play, like we mentioned, a good start from Miguel Gonzalez, and a nice victory in the first of 2 in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And, I mean, the Orioles are warming up, and as the weather gets warmer in Baltimore, I hope that means their long ball comes at home too, because they're playing great on the road. So we got to bring it back. And I think Pittsburgh's just a horrible team. So, I mean, I hope we get the short sweep again tomorrow.
Me too. Yeah, Pittsburgh's fallen to 18-26, and not looking like the playoff team that they were a year ago. The Orioles moving up to 23-20, and that leaves us to tomorrow's game with the O's #1 starter. I hope Jab's still watching.
Your
O's #1 starter, Chris Tillman, on the bump. He's 4-2 with a 3.33 ERA. And for the Pirates, Wandy Rodriguez, who's 0-2 with a 6.84. So you look at those 2 stats, and automatically you feel pretty good about how things are looking tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's Chris Tillman. He pitched a complete game his last outing. Now he's in Pittsburgh, and the way they're hitting the ball, I'm not worried about tomorrow.
Yep. Be pitch efficient, and I think he's got a good chance of doing the same. And against Wandy, I'd like to see the offense have some similar success. How about 3 more home runs for Chris Davis tomorrow night? So that's a 7:05 start.
Yeah, some more back-to-backs, and let's just hope the Orioles aren't looking past tomorrow night, because they do have a tough weekend series that I'm looking past, but I don't have to play.
4-game set at home against Cleveland. Are you going out to any of those games, Josh?
I haven't figured it out yet. I got a crazy 2 weeks.
So. All right. Well, if you're out at the yard, I'll be out at a couple of them. So I'll be tweeting from section. I don't know what section my tickets are this weekend, but be sure to follow us on Twitter at BAL Sports Report for all that. What do you got to plug, Josh? What's coming up on section 336?
We're 336 Daily, still coming every day. This morning I talked for 3 minutes about my hatred of the National League. So tomorrow is Zanny Bertrodi, and I'm sure he's going to talk about Chris Davis. How can you not after this game? And on Fridays our full show, and I think we have Derek from Utah Street Report coming in with us on Friday.
Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, that'll be fun then. I'll look forward to checking that out this week. And yeah, we just came out with a new BSR podcast on Monday. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, former Orioles closer Chris Ray joined us on the show, and he's brewing some beer. So he told us about becoming a brewer and pitching in the 9th, which is a great subject right now with the Orioles closer concerns. So check that out on BaltimoreSportsReport.com. And we're continuing to do the video stuff. I mentioned the video about Matt Wieters. Even though the stats are out of date, it's still worth checking out. You can click on the YouTube link on BaltimoreSportsReport.com for more of that. So for Josh Stroka, I'm Zach Wilt. Thanks for tuning in to Postgame Live on Channel BSR. We'll be back on Thursday.